My name's Charlie Mossbrook. If you're looking for a place to discover new music with interviews and live performances from different songwriters each week, welcome to Charlie's Open Mic. Hey, if you appreciate this content, please hit the subscribe button down below. Please ring the bell to get notifications for upcoming episodes. And please hit like and comment down below. You can find us at www.charliesopenmic.com and visit us on Patreon and support the show. Thanks. Hey, welcome to the show. Today I wanted to talk about physical distancing alternatives that open mic hosts around the country are using to bring us all together during this crisis. And to do that, I thought we'd do an interview. We're going to go straight to Zoom, and we're going to talk to Meganne Stepka, so let's go straight to that. Hey, we have Meganne Stepka with us today. She is an open mic host from the Cleveland area. She's been doing it for a very long time, and it's good to have her here. And hi, Meganne. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Charlie. Thanks so much for having me on the virtual show.
This is a new experiment for me. You've been doing a bit more with this than I have, so I really wanted to chat with you about it because we like to think that during our open mic show that we celebrate what I call music activists, people in the community who are using music in active ways to bring the community together, and you're definitely doing that. Tell us more about your background hosting open mics and what brought you to hosting open mics in the first place.
Absolutely. The very first place I ever played guitar was an open mic night. I went to high school at St. Joe's in West Park, and the Common Grounds coffee shop opened up at the time I was just going into high school. So as a freshman, I had a female English teacher who said, "Hey, this woman just opened up a coffee shop down the street and she has an open mic. I'd encourage you creative young ladies to check it out sometime." And I didn't know didn't know what I was getting into. That became my second home throughout high school, hanging out with a lot of musicians who were a little, older than me and doing this open mic night. And it was like a magnet to it immediately. I love being around the authentic vibe of, acoustic singer-songwriters just bearing their soul on this tiny little stage in a coffee shop. So that's where it all started for me as being drawn to it. And then it took me about 15 years after that to run one. I didn't really find the music scene in Cleveland very quickly or easily as a young person. I sort of stayed home and created and recorded and made stuff. There's a Paris to say hi. She was sleeping behind me. And yeah, but my first open mic I ran was in Berea, I think, at Zach's Bar and Grill. And it was just a random place that I went into. And the guy was like, "Oh, we want to do some music here. And you look like someone who would host an open mic night." It was kind of random that the owner said that to me because I wasn't hosting any open mics. Actually, I might have started one out at a place I worked at a restaurant, the Alexander's or Lone Tree on the far west side. So yeah, just I dabbled in a few places on the far west side in the west suburbs of Cleveland. And then the big one for me was when I started hosting at Kelly's, and I called that Manic Monday Open Mic. And at that point, I started to I knew about Brent Kirby's 10 by 3, and I knew about some Zayla at the Root Cafe in Lakewood. So I saw like this is a place where people really get together and share and experience each other. And so I knew what I was doing when I got into Manic Monday, and I really wanted to make that the hub, the late night spot. As a young person, when I in my 20s, like I said, I didn't really find the music scene. What I found was a lot of blues jam nights, and that wasn't what I was doing. I was very, very intimidated by the fact that there was like a bunch of older blues guys on stage, like calling up people to just sing a song. I was like, I can't just get up and sing a song with a band. Like I was looking for, an open mic where you go with your own music, singer-songwriter style. So having never found any of those later at night, that was really why I made Manic Monday start at 10 p.m. and go to close at the bar. I like the idea of having a place for those type of songwriters to just show up and feel like they had a community.
So we've got our showcases, we've got our songwriter open mics, we've got our jam nights. Now we have virtual open mics, and that's what you're doing.
Yes. As a result of Stay Home Ohio, I mean, within that, the first day I knew the restaurants and bars were closing. It did not look good for open mic nights for any of us. And there was, for me, there was a period of a week that I waited to do the first virtual one because I was just in shock. I was like, and I didn't know anything about Zoom rooms. Michelle Goss started the virtual shows Cleveland, which is a songwriters round, and she's using Zoom for that. So I had the opportunity to attend one of those showcases, and I was there as a student, very much a fan as well, listening to the music, but I was just studying Zoom and like, okay, what's happening here? And just wrapping my head around it. I had never used it before. And that was the Friday. And by that next Monday, I was like, okay, we're doing virtual open mic using Zoom. So we've done it twice now. And it's been awesome. It's awesome. It's the next best thing. We're all hanging out in a room, yes, on a screen, but
Mhm.
just like this, it feels like you're hanging out with people. And in many ways, people have commented, and I've observed as, myself as well, it's kind of cool. It's like a listening room. Everybody mutes their mic when someone else is playing. And so you really do have our attention, the person performing, and we are hearing you perhaps clearer than we would at a bar with background noise and people coming and going and all the, wonderful distractions of being in a public space. Not being there in this case, it's pretty special doing it in the Zoom room and just kind of going around the circle. And like I said, we'll talk in between performers. Everyone turn your mic on. And then as soon as the performer's ready, okay, everyone mute your mics. And we're all there in these little boxes in the window. So yeah, I'm very grateful for the technology to be at our fingertips at this time.
It's really it's neat for me not to that you don't have using the internet. You don't have to shush people, which is I think such a nice thing. I mean, I've gotten very good over the years at encouraging the audience to listen, which
Hmm.
those are the words I use now. We encourage
Encourage.
rather than shut up. But but not having to encourage the audience to listen is really nice. And then with this show, there's not a lot of feedback. We rely on people to comment down below. So you just play to the camera, and after the edits and everything, hopefully it feels a lot more intimate than it would if I don't get in there and edit and do all the fancy things that I'm learning how to do with video now. Uh, but one thing that I thought was really cool about your open mic on Zoom was there was feedback, and people were able to let the performers know, hey, I really enjoyed that, and that was cool. I know during it when I was watching, I was doing the American Sign Language clap. Which, by the way, we were watching Amy Acton and Mike DeWine today, and that American Sign Language interpreter, she's great.
Yes.
She's
Yes.
hysterical.
Yes. There's some joy to that for sure. And again, we know we were talking about it on the phone yesterday, but yeah, I encourage anyone listening to this show as well, especially those of you from Ohio, but even anyone around the country or the world. Mike DeWine's press conferences really are so informative and just helpful, especially for those of us living in Ohio. And the Dr. Amy Acton, yeah, it's really one of the best things I think to watch right now if you're going to watch the news and try to absorb what's going on around us. But yes, it's I forgot why we brought that up, Charlie.
Oh,
What were you saying about
you're
it?
talking about sign language,
The
and
sign language, yes, yes, the sign language
and
interpreter is
and
awesome.
and and our ASL interpreter in Ohio today. She was wearing the Mike DeWine glasses, so it was perfect.
That's awesome. Yeah, so at my open mic, yes, being having the feedback is really special, and yeah, not just on the performances, but also on the technology, because we are still every single person who shows up to a Zoom room, it's either their first, second, or third time. Nobody, except people that I know who have jobs in like business jobs, and there's a few who come out to open mics who have those types of careers. They've used Zoom before for like conference calls and things, but they say, I've never used this for music. This is crazy. So we're all learning the virtual technology and the Zoom room. So I think, especially this past week, we talked a lot about who was using what in terms of their microphone, computer, or a phone, and just trying to, all of us learn hands-on what might what might work best for our own virtual shows going forward, or for other types of open mics. So it's a really cool
Super fun.
learning experience. It's like we're all in school together, and I love that. I loved friends in college, like just learning stuff. It's great to learn in groups, and we're certainly doing that.
So see, these seem to be the way to go. I don't know if I just did something funky by
Yeah,
grabbing hold of it. Did I make
there
noise?
was a yeah, sorry, there was a little crackle, and I think I did that to the Zoom room the other day too. I was like, let me test it, and here I'll do it to you too. Ah, right, you get the crackle through,
Was
but I do.
that wasn't earrings?
Oh no, those yes, these are my
You've got some jingling going there.
My earbud earrings. But yeah, I do think that yeah, the small microphone on these earbuds because it's closer to our face, and it's definitely a cleaner stream of audio. But also, I've had people use their their mixers direct out into their computers, and then use that in the Zoom room, and that seems to work really well too. However, with Zoom, you have to go into your deep into your settings as the host and make sure that you have certain things enabled and disabled, like allow users to have stereo audio is one thing I didn't realize I didn't have on last week, and that did mess with someone's performance. So yeah, learning Zoom together.
So another thing that you organized last weekend was this 48-hour streamathon.
Sure.
Is that what you called it?
Yeah, I called it well, I officially called it during the event. I made the official name because it all happened very fast. So I made a page for the event going forward because I plan to do it again. 48-hour virtual music fest, CLE, for Cleveland. So 48-hour virtual music fest, CLE, is the official name. I made a page. We did it. We're going to do it again. I want to do it the last weekend of every month that we're quarantined. So something to look forward
Well,
to. Not for me as well as everyone listening, as well as the performers. It helps me have something to do. I love, you know, reaching out to musicians and putting a little schedule together. The black and whiteness of a schedule, like filling people in on different times. It was a nice job to have that last week.
and that method lacks the interactivity of the Zoom, but it allows for much better sound and video quality.
Absolutely. And it bypasses the need for like a Zoom link though too. So the goal was to have, I reached out to all these performers, 48 plus performers, and I said, just go live from your page. But then the interactivity came from having myself and other moderators sharing their videos to the Music Fest page. So I was able to reach not just my fans and friends and family who I knew would go to that 48-hour page, but those people were reaching out to their friends and family too, and their friends and family were able to see other people because so it did create this whole bigger community. Like at first a lot of people were like, wait, I'm just going live from my page, and I'm like, but I'm going to share your video, and then when your friends go to see the video, they'll see other people who played. So just so many people were introduced to a ton of new artists because of that, and that was incredibly special as well.
Hmm. Where can people find you online?
My YouTube channel, I'm working on putting more content up there during this time. My band is called Meganne The Magnetosphere, and you can find that album that we put out on iTunes and Spotify, and as well on social media. If you just look up Meg and The Magnetosphere, you'll find us. Myself personally on Facebook, my page for music is Meg Stepka, and that's linked to my Instagram. So anytime I put stuff up, it's pretty much just Facebook, Instagram. Like you said, I do love connecting people in the whole community of music. So it's important to me, and I think yeah, social media is for all of its flaws, really special right now and a great way to connect.
I think the idea is good.
Right?
Some
Oh,
of the
the
execution has been
absolutely,
nefarious in some ways.
absolutely.
One other question I had for you, speaking of your group, have you found a way to practice, or what are they doing to keep their chops up and to stay engaged musically?
Absolutely. Well, all of my bandmates did do a solo set during the 48-hour stream because they're all solo musicians as well, and that, unique songwriters, different styles. So that was awesome. So, we're staying connected that way. But as far as playing as a band, we haven't figured it out yet. I think there's something really special about it being live right now for the viewer because we're here, we're hanging out. Like watching a video that I made yesterday is still awesome, but right, being
I'm
present
I'm
has
I'm
something.
definitely seeing a lot more traction from the live. I mean, even once I do a live video, 5 minutes later, the viewers just drop off. If I'm live,
Totally.
they're engaged, they're into it, and the minute I just leave a recorded video up there, the viewership drops off quickly.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think there's just this hunger that we all have right now for human interaction.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, hey, this has been a great interview, and I'm gonna cut it off now because I could keep talking, and we could go on for a long time,
Yes,
and
we could.
but I think we've talked about all the things I definitely wanted to talk about. So thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Charlie. My pleasure.
keep doing what you're doing and keep me involved. I want to participate in every way I can, and we'll in the description we'll keep including different links that to get involved in the different things that you're hosting and doing.
Please do. Please also include Michelle's virtual. I mean, it's Michelle. She partnered with Bright Winter. There's a lot of people involved, but I am playing that virtual show of hers tomorrow, this Sunday. So I'm not sure if this will come up before that, but either way, you can go back and check out her page, or the page for Virtual Shows CLE, because we all, it took a minute to get used to what we were doing, and seeing her start that really did help spark what I did. So shout out, Michelle
Very
Gaw.
cool.
Thank you,
Thank
Charlie.
you very much.
Hmm.
We'll see you later.
All right, see you, Charlie. Thank you. Keep making music.
No one wants to lose their place in life, conceding all we had in better times. And there's a fear that's real of being left behind. So we struggle for position in this new paradigm. And we gave up on the American dream. Now I need a little cash and a simple scheme to get me through the morning, get me through the day, and the dark of nights in the USA. Oh, it took a knee to say he wasn't proud, despite the boos of protest from the crowd. And there's a man that swore that he'd defend those rights, who instead condemned that moment as a slight, and demanded that the bosses levy fines against anyone who dares to speak their mind. And we gave up on the American dream. Now I need a little cash and a simple scheme to get me through the morning and get me through the day and the dark of night in the USA. I worry about all the damage that's been done, the troubled waters further down the stream. Pull the oars, for the worst is yet to come, and I pray that this is nothing but a dream. Now my senator, he won't even take my call when I try to tell him how I see it all. You know I need a doctor more than we need a wall, and Lord knows I need a break more than some folks need it all. And we gave up on the American dream. Now I need a little cash and a simple scheme to get me through the morning, get me through the day, and the dark of nights in the USA. And we gave up on the American dream. Now I need a little cash and a simple scheme to get me through the morning and get me through the day and the dark of nights in the USA. that's our show today. I want to thank Meganne Stepka for joining me on Zoom and having a great conversation. I want to let you all know that I'm thinking about all of us, and I hope you're doing well at home and everybody's staying healthy. And for those of you who aren't, you're in our prayers. Thanks for watching today. Please hit the subscribe button down below. Ring the bell for future notifications of upcoming shows. Press like. Please comment. Tell me what you're doing. If you're producing music or poetry or whatever, share videos that you're doing. I want to see it, and I'm sure everybody else would love to see it. It's helping us all get through this time of isolation. And please check us out at charliesopenmic.com. There's a link to our Patreon page. There's also links in our descriptions for Megan and everything else we did today. We'll see you next show, and have a good couple days whenever I get back to producing the next show.